Recording surrounded in COVID-19. I hated it. I know you was expecting that, but I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I won't take the journey away because it taught me so much and it's got you this beautiful project. But I wouldn't do this again. It was hard. It was so hard. But I'm going to explain why. So first of all, let me tell you the little testimony I have. So the testimony though is that God literally blew my mind. He super exceeded my expectation. I'm going to explain why. So obviously when COVID-19 hit us all, many of us lost jobs. Many of us who had jobs maybe were furloughed. I don't know. For me, obviously I'm in full-time ministry. So all of our bookings, bar few, got cancelled. So imagine every day you get an email, cancelled. Sorry to inform you, due to what's going on, cancelled. And, that's income at the end of the day, outside of obviously what we do with our heart and we love it in ministry, but that is still income. And so it was crazy because that was my major source of income. And so I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then to top it off, the Holy Spirit God says to me, I need you to record Surrounded this year and put it out. And I was like, you're crazy, right? You do know what we're in, COVID-19, right? Like, that's insane. I remember I was praying and he very rarely speaks to me, not even about my music, but he was very clear. It had to come out this year. And I said, okay. And so I remember speaking to my producer. Now, bear in mind, it was going to come out earlier than what it is. And I said, okay, this is what we're working with. I think it was going for my birthday. That was the first date. And I remember saying to him, before we even started, I said, Dana, I'm going to be one of the first artists who's going to pay you before they even finish the project. And he was like, okay, I don't say that he didn't have faith in me, but it's random. Like, wow, who says that? I just want to testify, saints. I hadn't even done my vocals and my invoice was paid off. My single was completely paid off. This is how God really proved himself, because he said to me, if you obey me, I will make sure everything is taken care of. And he did just that. I don't know to this day how I made up that money to get it. I didn't do anything illegal, thank God. But you know what I mean? Like, the way people sewed, people out of nowhere was sewing. And I paid off my single literally before I even finished my vocals. It wasn't even mixed and mastered and it was paid off. Like, I was chilling at that point. So that's my little testimony. Yay, Jesus. Anyway, so obedience, I tell you, is better than sacrifice. But my point is, anyway, so we're getting to... He gives me the demo. We're going back and forth about the little changes I want to make, what I want it to be. But it was taking all the fun out of it. So what I love is after we get past the demo stage, normally I'm in the studio, I'm watching the band we're cutting it together. But we've got COVID-19. None of us can be together, not even in America. They're in their separate places. And some of them live in the same state, but still couldn't get together because you had the rules and the households and all the rest of it. So it was insane. I was like, Dana, I'm scared. I'm stressed. What if they don't do something right? And then we got to get them to cut it again. Oh my, I probably was a headache for the first part of it. I'm not going to lie. Because I was like, this is taking all the fun out of it. And I love being in the atmosphere. Anyone's ever recorded with Dana 𝒟𝒃, it's a dream. It's so much fun. It's always great fun. It's always great energy, just great vibe. And so I felt like all the things I enjoyed about being in the studio, I was losing out on. So imagine, like, you got Sean who's cutting his keys, then the keys comes to me and I'm like, I can't hear it. Like, it's not the same because they normally cut together. So imagine everyone's having to cut individually and pretending they get where the song's building to. Do you understand the type of imagination they had to have? Okay. So you got keys cutting by themselves, bass cutting by themselves, and just trying to vibe with the demo as a blueprint. And then Pudge, who he was able to cut with Dana, thank God. So they cut together. And I remember, like, they were FaceTiming me. And I was like, they were like, what do you think? And I was like, it's great, but I just need to be a bit more aggressive. Like, it needs to build. And it felt so horrible being on the other side of the screen. Now, what I will say is Dana is amazing. Like, he made a promise to me that I would be able to still be feeling like I was there. And so we had to, like, FaceTime. I got plugged into the session so I could hear them literally playing live, and then I could say what I wanted or if I wanted to change. Now, I will say I'm a different type of artist. Some artists, they just come and they record their bits and they bounce. I'm not like that. I'm very much involved in the musicality because I am very musical, even though I don't talk about it a lot, but that's a whole other video. But yeah, so I was like really hands-on, and so because I felt very passionate about this song because it was my heart, it was my baby, and also because God had given me strict instructions. Then let's talk about when we went to Abbey Road. So Abbey Road, you can only have certain people, and then I had to do, let me tell you the craziness. I had to do a Zoom, and then they also had another link which let them hear what I'm singing live. So you literally had Dana literally, and he was doing 2 sessions because we had a challenge with the BGVs, again, because we're not all together. So he had the session. Now imagine this, my BGV session is happening at the same time as my lead vocal session. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. When I say COVID, it's the worst. So because of that, he was literally running between 2 sessions, like mine and theirs, and listening and going, okay, I love that, do that again. And then we had obviously my friend Jean Hoskins, he was down there, listening and helping, and then also obviously work, he went to work, and then Miranda came on, my mentor. And you got to understand, my session started later than I would have wanted because 5-hour difference. So Dana is 5 hours behind me. So imagine my session could start at 10, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning and he ain't up. So it was insane, like trying to work with time difference and working with like, you know, like literally trying to record technology, all of that. It was, I don't want to do that again. I don't, like, I would do it if I have to, but I don't. Let me go, let me out. Rona, go away, please, so I can go back and travel. But my point is, it was tough. I loved the journey. I always take pride in taking nuggets from the journey. I learned patience. I learned to trust, because I had to trust my producer at this point. I had to trust the musicians that we had chosen and trust that these are the same guys that worked on the last project. They haven't let you down before, so they ain't gonna let you down now. And so there was a trust. There was like, okay, there was also them having, you know, having to tap in and having an imagination of where the song could be going because they weren't having each other to depend on.